What do we got going on today? Well, we are trying to fix a mud hole for these calves. So this lot is where we feed out all our calves, and right here is where they stand waiting to be let in. This gate's usually closed, and they stand right there, and it's a mud hole, and so they stand in mud. And so we've covered it with this felt-like material that they use in construction, and then we're covering it with AB3 rock, and it'll be a mud hole no more. Alright, well, we got that one hole done. We've moved over to my dad's place, and we're doing another spot that gets real muddy, and doing the same thing, putting the construction felt down, covering it in AB3 rock. We also have the John Deere 5100E and the manure spreader over here, and we have started hauling manure. Dad's going to go haul it, spread it on the 5 acres of crabgrass. And so while he's going and spreading that, I'm going to cover this with rock, and then when he gets back, I'll load him up with composted manure, and we'll just keep going. Well, we got those holes filled and the rock over them, and now we are hauling manure. So I'm here at the manure pile at my dad's house, and in the 7130 John Deere. I've got a bucket ready. He's coming. We've got the manure spreader on the 5100. We normally run the manure spreader on the old Ford 5000. but I wanted to try it on that 5100, and it's got front wheel assist. The Ford's just two-wheel drive. That tractor's got 100 horsepower. The Ford's made like 60 horsepower when it was new, and it's probably not making that now. And so it's got a lot more traction and horsepower, and the fields are pretty soft, so I figured we better use something with a little more power and traction in case that spreader started sinking in. Well, I'm off to the next thing. Dad's having to load and spread manure himself. It's time to do chores. Had to feed our calves, and then we've got fall calving Angus cows over there. I've been feeding them dried distillers. I've got them caught up. We're getting ready to AI about 7 of them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when they'll be getting bred. These calves, I weighed them last weekend. It had been 29, 28 days since we'd weaned them, and usually about every 30 days, 4 weeks, I'll re-weigh them and see what their weight is, see how they've been gaining, make sure there's not any that haven't been gaining. It's a good way to see if there's issues. This pen, 38 calves, averaged 3 pounds a day over the first 28 days of weaning, which is quite good. I was very happy with that, considering, you know, they started on about 0.5% of their body weight and feed, and we worked our way up over the course of about 2 weeks to 1%, and then was feeding them about 1%, and they're still on 1% here. So it's not a lot. They were getting fed crabgrass hay during that time, which we didn't get it tested, so I'm not positive how good it was, but it must have been decent hay. That, along with the ground feed, they really gained well. So we're going to give them another 4 weeks, and we'll weigh them and see what their average daily gains are. So it's a pretty nice looking group of calves, I think. Here's that pen of straight Angus cows. There's 3 in here that aren't. Right there in the center of the screen, that 700, she's actually a Jersey Gelby cross heifer. That 706 is a balancer heifer. There's 3 first cows different. I've got all the straight Angus together, and they'll be bred and fed all winter long as one group. And then I've got the crossbred cows all separated, and they'll be fed and bred as one group. My plan is to run the balancer bull on these straight Angus, and then I'll run the straight Angus bull on the crossbred cows. And my hope is to get a more consistent set of calves between the 2 types of cows. We bought some more hay feeders. Needed about 4 more. Brought home 3 today. Put them together. Had several that last year they probably shouldn't have even been used. They were falling apart so bad, and there's just no way they could be used this year. So we needed to replace them. That is a plastic feeder out of plastic pipe. It's got stainless hardware holding it together. We've got quite a few of those. They're really nice because they're real lightweight. You can move them around easily. They're never going to rot or rust. They're flexible, so if you drop a bale on it, they're not going to bend and break. I really like them. They'll last a long time. My only complaint about them is with Bermuda hay, they tend to not hold it in very well. And you get a lot of wasted hay in those types of feeders. If you're feeding like long stem fescue hay or something in them, they work really well. These feeders are steel. They're all metal, powder coated black. They're a whole lot more expensive than those feeders, probably 2 or 3 times the price. But these do a whole lot better job of keeping that Bermuda hay in. We've got one of these out right now, out with those straight Angus cows. Using it. It's the first one of this style we've used, and it's working really well. In fact, it's this one without a skirt, but we also got one with a skirt. We'll kind of be able to see, kind of compare the two and see if a skirt does make a difference. But I really like these. The cows can't really get in there except for just right at the edge. They can't get through there. So the only place to get hay is down through here. They have to reach in there and eat it. And it seems like the hay stays in the feeder more. Our bales are big enough that it actually, when I put it in here, it kind of sits up in the top. It doesn't go all the way down. It kind of gets wedged in that middle ring there. So as they eat it, it kind of goes down. But I really like them so far. They're kind of expensive, but they are powder coated, and hopefully they'll last a while. So now we're down at my heifer development pasture. I just pulled them off of this paddock. I'll show you the paddock they're getting ready to go to. I don't know. So the one on the right, the light's kind of low. One on the right's where they're going, the one on the left's where they've been. And there's a calf already gone out there.